Good morning. What a beautiful day it is. What another great opportunity we have to share another video that's part of our Building Blocks series. 7 topics that every married couple should discuss, should prepare for. Today's video is going to touch on managing household and daily responsibilities. That's right, you heard me. Managing household and daily responsibilities. And I know what you're thinking. Dave, maybe there are some meatier things that we should be covering in a series called Building Blocks. But when it comes down to truly having a house that works, a relationship that works, a marriage that thrives, this is one of the things that we have to make sure we lock down. If you think about it, when it comes to the daily household chores, the task, the to-do list, all the things that have to get done so that life just simply operates, it's a lot. And if we don't talk about it and we don't manage it properly and we don't lean in on each other's strengths and give responsibilities to individuals, then some things can get missed and we can fall into disappointments, unmet expectations, which can then lead to resentment, arguments, and just a path that we don't want to head down. I'll give you guys an example. One thing that my wife and I are very conscious of is the sticky note syndrome. And what the sticky note syndrome is when one of us has an expectation of another that we don't share, and it might not get met. I'll give you an example. If I have an expectation that my wife is going to do the dishes for the day, as the day goes on, I can see into the sink and I can see how many dishes are in there. The day continues to move on later and later, and I can see that she still hasn't done them, but they've continued to pile up. Now we have this dish bush with, it looks like an unpruned rose bush with dishes sticking out each side. So in my mind, I have built up frustration. I have a little anger building up. I might even walk over to this and start doing it myself out of spite. What I'm doing is, by not mentioning that expectation, I'm basically taking a sticky note and I'm writing down on that sticky note, dishes. And I'm placing that sticky note on my wife, right? That expectation goes unmet. So instead of seeing her, all I see is that sticky note. Same thing goes for laundry. I wake up in the morning, I go to open my drawer, I have no socks. I look over at the laundry basket and I see there's tons of socks that are unwashed, they're dirty, I can't put those on. Why hasn't the laundry been done? That's an expectation. That's one that now I have that's unmet. So I have another sticky note that I'm taking and I'm placing right there. You get the concept, right? As silly as this is, sooner rather than later, these sticky notes start to pile up. I start to not see my wife. I start to see unmet expectations. I start to build up resentment. We start to have misunderstandings more and more. We start to have arguments more and more. So the trick here is to plan for these household and daily responsibilities so that we don't end up having those expectations that our spouses just can't live up to. So here's what we do, right? First thing is we understand what our spouses value and what they need. You see, the two of us, we both grew up different. The two of you grew up different. You were raised differently, different backgrounds, different points of views, different philosophies on life, different parenting styles, all the differences that you can think of, right? So now the two of you have to live together with those differences. So some people might need that tidy, neat, clean home, where others just value the time together that's spent, the meals, the conversations, rather than having that tidy, neat home to come home to. They rather just be home with the person that's there with them. So those two people, although both are good, they're different. And that person that values time, values the conversation, values quality time, they might not value the neatness, the cleanness, the spending the time scrubbing things down, versus the other one that does. So if you understand that of your spouse, it then goes from, oh, well, he never really does anything around the house, to he really just wants to come home and spend time with me. Different views, different understandings. If you can have that level of understanding with your spouse, you're then better to understand how it is they view your household, how it is they view those tasks. Second piece is lean in on each other's strengths. One person might look at a list of chores and be able to prioritize that list in an order of importance versus urgent, right? Another side of us might be able to look at that list and pinpoint the things that we can do and we can crush. I know that I can look at that list and say, I can put that thing together. I can paint that wall. I can fix those nail pops. Or let's put this in order for us to be able to take action on the most important things, or the most urgent things, or what are the things that can wait a little bit later, right? Lean in on those strengths. Maybe one of you is great with finances. Maybe one of you is not. Some of us might be a little traditional. Some of us might be a little bit new school. Mix the two, figure it out. Have a conversation, see which one you are, and lean in on those strengths to make the other one's life a little bit easier. The third piece, communicate what tasks need to be completed. There's nothing more frustrating than thinking your spouse knows what you're thinking, but they really don't. Again, two separate people coming together under one household. Just because you sleep inches away from each other in the same bed doesn't mean you have the same thought process. You might have moments where you're really on the same page, but majority of the day, you're not. You think differently. When one of you's really excited, the other one might be a little curious. When one of you's really angry, some of you might be a little bit understanding. So, communicate the tasks that need to be completed, so that way they know those expectations. And once your communication gets really good, they can communicate to you that, hey, Dave, that expectation is unrealistic. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It might not happen the way you think it is. Fourth piece, be open to new ideas and think outside of the box. It is now 2024, and we live in an age where information is readily available at your fingertips. But not only that, but services as well. What do I mean by this? If you have kids that are growing up and getting a little bit older, incorporate them into your household responsibilities, your daily task. Ask them to take care of some things that you think they can hold on to as a responsibility. The other option is there's tons of apps and services that can take care of things for you. If you know that you're not the handiest person in the world, go ahead and get some help with that. If you have the means to do so, by all means, do so. The importance of managing your house and your daily responsibilities goes way further than just having a neat and clean house. This goes down into the root of resentment, into the root of thinking, man, did I marry the right person? Or I don't even know them anymore. Making sure that the two of you connect on a constant basis on what you're responsible for and what they're responsible for leads to long-term success, and it builds an unshakable marriage that can withstand any obstacle that gets thrown at them in the future. Now, I know I covered some simple pieces, and it sounds like it's really easy, but for some of you, I get it. It's complex. It's a lot more difficult to have these conversations when you're already not seeing eye to eye. If that's you, I'm telling you, I'm here to help. My wife and I, Jackie, send us a message. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to find out more about your specific situation and give you some tips, give you some content that can help you improve quick as possible. Send us a message, send us an email. We'd love to help. That's the end of this video. I can't wait to share the next one with you. Stay tuned and we'll cover some more. I pray you have an amazing day. God bless and thank you.